us. Thank you. Diana Shand. Diana, you've got 2 submissions. Do you want to run them one into the other, or do you want to sort of separate them?
I want to run them together.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So just put up 6 minutes, yeah. I'll reset it. Okay, cool.
Tēnā koutou katoa, and thank you for this opportunity. I want to talk together with the 2 submissions together because everything is interrelated in the end. And if you don't thread what you're doing for climate change into your city planning and think of it all the time, really it's not as successful and it's not going to have the outcomes you want. So yes, it's all interrelated. I might just say briefly that I was the National Program Manager for ICLEI, the Local Governments for Sustainability, had the opportunity to look at Europe and what they were doing there to make their cities more sustainable. And you will notice in my submission, I actually talk a great deal about transport and the need to address transport and rapid transport in particular. And if you look at Europe and you consider the amount of density that they have in their landscape, considering that the landscape is also full of open rural spaces and working farms to this day, you have to say what is the key, and it is the rapid transport that actually connects small communities in a major network. And consequently, I think we really have to consider, if we want to address climate change, emissions, if we want to address housing, if we want to address a great number of things, that rapid transport is going to be the key, and therefore I would urge it as a priority. And when you consider that housing needs can be met, and there are so many people that actually I know who maintain either dual houses in Ashburton or Timaru or somewhere like that, and also a spot in Christchurch. It is actually, I think, a chance to actually free up quite a lot of housing. And as well, we have to consider that we are constantly expanding onto productive land, which is a crime that makes my heart bleed. I do emphasise also in my submission that maybe you could look at making a priority of rapid transport over the extended cycleways. Now, listening to the previous submission, I'm a bit concerned that I have not got the research to say that older people would not be using those. But I do travel out twice a week, unfortunately by car, to Amberley to visit my sister, who is in a nursing home, and to that I am constantly looking at the cycleways that line the highways. And in the first week I was cheering because there seemed to be a lot of people out, but that is not the trend now. So I think people were trying those cycleways, and I do think that you actually have to look at where you're going to get the bang for your buck, and that's in terms of getting commuters out of cars onto rapid transport and coming into the city. So I would urge looking at that. Now, the other thing I thought I might concentrate on in this few minutes I have is the need for looking at maintaining and enhancing heritage in this city. We have lost so much through the earthquakes. And can I say, when I was a student, every great old Victorian Edwardian house had been utilised by students. They were brought up by the Clifford family. They all had rooms and things, and a lot of them still exist. And if you just want an example of where people that would not get housing in the new developments that we're getting now, you only need to look at the corner of Gloucester Street and Montreal Street and Worcester Boulevard. Now, that old house, which used to be the university bookshop, but before that was a family home, had been housing 8 people. Now, because I live very close, I talked to those people all the time as I went past, and I would say these were people that are going to struggle to find homes having been ejected. 8 people had living in that house, and some had been there for years. Maybe it was not up to standard, and certainly it would be caught by the new tenancy requirements and that's why we need to keep heritage grants and keep on making sure that we make it possible to keep old heritage buildings that are actually also doing a major social function. And I really urge you to look at your decrease of heritage, investment in heritage, because it has multiple purposes. I would recall that when I was involved in another branch of local government, we did a study of what attracted good management calibre to the city. Why did people come to the city from other cities in New Zealand and take up major posts? And a lot of them said it was because of the heritage of the city, the quality, the culture, which applies to other things that are in my submission about keeping library hours and art centre, art gallery hours. You've got to consider the ramifications of cutting those sort of things. And heritage is the thing, the quality and the character of heritage and character is very important in making an attractive city. And you've got to keep that and think of the other purposes as well. So there are many ramifications of those things, and I just want you to think about them.
Thank you. That's very that's an excellent submission, and it's much appreciated. I like the way that you weave the two of them together and focused on those core elements in relation to rapid transit, which vexes us all, and also the heritage component. So thank you very much for your submission. Thank you.